Hey everyone, Mango7Roll here. How we doing today? Welcome to another episode of Epic 7, and today we're going to be going over the patch notes that just happened. Actually, not patch notes, the live stream that just happened. And we're going to see Ran, who is probably pretty unfair. Probably pretty unfair. We'll get to that in a second. But first off, let's just take a look. We have the password right now in that corner over there. Ran is coming. That's going to get your box in your thingy. I'll also pin the comment maybe with it. And still get asked 17,000 times tomorrow about it. And we have the Arena Conviction season. I actually really like these ones. They're just pretty neat. I like all the the rubies or whatever they are. It's just cool. I'm not really going to get any of the higher ones, but it is what it is. And then we have the Arena Conviction set, which is Penetration. Probably the #1 set that people want right now, just because it is not exactly easy to farm. Let's go like this. But before we do that, our sponsor of the day is Raid Shadow Legends, the best mobile or PC game you've ever played. And you know how I know it's the best mobile or PC game you've ever played? That's because Mangoville is still going strong. Look at that guild I started so long ago. Link description below to download Raid Shadow Legends for free on Android and iOS. I want to do a really quick top 5 here, and that is my top 5 favorite factions. My #1 is going to be High Elves. I love all of them, especially Lissandra. Look how amazing she is. I wish I had her. #2, we're gonna pick out the Demon Spawn because they've got amazing people like Candafron, who I picked up and I was really happy about. #3 is gonna be the Dark Elves because, like the regular elves, we've got super cute waifus. Also, kind of looks dead there, but you know, that's part of it. Next up, we have the Knights Revenant. I really like these as well because every now and then you can find like one of those cool looking people like Thea, the Tomb Angel. And finally, our 5th number of this is going to be the Bannerlords, and that's because we've got people like Cithalia, who has plagued me from the start of the game and I keep pulling dupes of. So what's new in Raid? This month, Raid's got a non-stop schedule of events and special activities, including an absolutely jam-packed Halloween lineup towards the end of the month. We're talking big rewards, tournaments against other players, very spooky Halloween champions, and so much more. If you want to get a huge head start in Raid, all you have to do is hit the link in the description or scan my QR code and you'll get an epic hero Chonaro who is amazing in Doom Tower, 200k silver, 1 XP boost, 1 energy refill, and 1 ancient shard, so you can summon an awesome champion as soon as you get in game. And it's really easy. All you gotta do once you click in and scan my QR code is go into the mailbox on the top right. It's all gonna be right there for you. So what are you waiting for? Link description below. Download Raid Shadow Legends for free on Android, iOS, and PC. Kinda interesting stat choices, of course. So the weapon is health, attack, speed, crit chance. It's not bad. No crit damage, which is a little bit unfortunate there. Obviously you're gonna want crit damage on a pen piece, but still really good stats. You do want all of those stats. There's no effectiveness or ER on it, so it doesn't kind of ruin it. We then have the helm with health, attack, crit chance, defense. This one's pretty risky for me because 1, there's no speed, 2, there's no crit damage, and 3, there's kind of like a 50-50 of just it kind of dying, you know? Like 50-50 chance you roll health or defense 3 times or 2 to 3 times even, and it ruins a piece, or like really low rolls as well. Then we've got the chest, which is pretty amazing. Speed, crit chance, crit damage, and defense. All amazing stats. The only way this could be better is if that's HP percent over defense, but we're of course just gonna we're gonna roll all in the other 3 anyway, right? So really, really good piece. I feel like this is one that's going to complete a lot of people's penetration sets. Then we have the boots, and this is where things go downhill. The boots are just kind of abysmal. I feel like if you're using attack percent boots, you really want to have crit damage on there. On top of that, you maybe want to have HP. You really don't want to have effect resistance, you know? Like, it's just not a good piece. I probably won't even buy that. And then we have the Necklace of Conviction. And it's got the effect resistance. So, good stats all around. Health, attack, crit chance are what we want, but no speed. So if you're looking for a pen set without any speed on it, this one might actually work because you can roll all into attack, crit chance, and health, all of which are good stats for substats there. And then gem out the effect resistance for flat attack or speed. And then we've got the ring. So the ring is a little interesting. I actually really like the ring. Obviously, I would prefer attack percent main, way more than health, but still, there are quite a few people who use health that do like penetration set, like a Ravi, of course. And on top of that, there's a lot of units that can use HP percent main stat as a DPS ring. And with the substats being as insane as they are, crit damage, attack, crit chance, pretend you just don't hit effectiveness, because if you don't hit effectiveness, you're fine. They can use that as a DPS ring too, to get a lot of bulk in there, because I think bulk's really important for a lot of DPS. For example, somebody like Rem. I think I actually have Rem on an HP percent ring right now, so not terrible. This is actually a pretty good rotation of pieces of gear, especially since it's 10 set. So we've also got a drop rate up of Kisei here. No one cares. Sorry, she's really good, but we've got more stuff coming. Drop rate up for Politis as well. Amazing unit. You should get her, especially if you have any worry or care at all for PvP. Then we have Summer and Winter, which is the side story. And do note this comes on the 14th, which means, yeah, Rand's going to come on the 14th as well. And speaking of Rand, let's actually go take a look at him. And we'll bring up the video right now, if I can press the right button out of all the buttons. We did. Okay, so quality is right.
Win or lose is determined in an instant. If you won't step back, I'll slash your justice in two. It seems that you need my help.
He looks really cool, and if you're familiar with that voice, that's because it's Billy Kametz, and he is Ferdinand von Aegir from Fire Emblem Three Houses, which is just amazing. Really amazing voice actor. They picked a perfect person for this. So let's go take a look straight into the stats and stuff. You can watch the rest of this if you want. We also found out that this is not MLK-Ron. This is Zahak or Zahak. I'm not sure. But it's not MLK-Ron as people suspected. Here we go. So yeah, he's got 129 speed. So he's a zoomer for sure. 1119 attack, low defenses, but that doesn't really matter. 23% crit chance, so he does have that 8% base. And his regular imprint is ER. I don't really understand that. Not that it matters, because pretty much everybody just ends up using imprint concentration now. Yeah, that's 129 speed. Like, that's a lot of speed, right? Like, that's insane. And it gets even more insane. So Mental Focus is skill 2 is kind of exactly what we expected. We expected it to give him an extra turn, give him either attack or crit damage buff, and also do something on top of that. And this gives him immunity to all allies for 2 turns. And it is on a 5-turn cooldown. 4-turn cooldown with skill enhance, 3-turn cooldown with after using it. So this is a pretty insane skill too. Like, being able to self-buff immunity and self-buff attack and give yourself an extra turn, and not only self-buff immunity, but all allies. It's insane. Absolutely insane. On a 129 speed unit on top of that. But it gets even more insane. Are you ready for even more insane? We've got Instant Blade, which oh lordy. Attacks all enemies with a sword, dispelling 2 buffs before an 80% chance. It does go up to a 100% chance to inflict stigma for 2 turns, and an 85% chance to decrease defense for 2 turns. Grants skill nullifier to the caster, because why not? And also scales on speed. So, that's insane. So, couple things to note here. This is an 80% or 85% chance to decrease defense. So you do have that 50% chance for it not to land. But stigma is 100%. But it also ignores effect resistance for 20 souls, which is pretty nuts. Being able to ignore effect resistance, dispel, land defense break, land stigma on a DPS is just kind of insane to me. Absolutely insane. What a ridiculous kit, to be honest. Like, how do they even compare? Like, poor Era, you know? Like, imagine Era with her like 106 speed, less defenses, 1/3 of the damage, no defense break, no dispel, no stigma. Oh, poor Era. Is all I can say. So that's insane. And it actually gets not more insane than this, but it also gets pretty insane. And that's with his Tempest, his skill 1, which penetrates defense on a skill 1 by 20%, which means this is going to hit really hard, like super major, really, really hard. That said, if you do take a look at all of his skills, he's very mullet intensive. Like, there's no effect chance here, but you're going to want him to do damage, right? And because he has not a passive skill 2, but one that makes him go again, you're going to be using Tempest a lot. We also have 7 mullahs here you're going to need. You're going to need at least +5 here, right? And anybody seriously using them is going to need to +7. But luckily, this one only takes the 1 that is necessary. And then we have his artifact. Then we have his artifact, which is kind of just as bonkers. 15% attack base, so this goes from level 1 to level 15. To level 30, it's always 15%. And one thing to note is they did give us kind of a hint that they're going to do something about artifacts that are 50% at 15 or 75% or whatever, and 100% at 30. I feel like they kind of hinted at that here because they said they're going to talk about something like that. They never actually did, but I think it might be in the balance patch coming out this Friday or Thursday night. So look forward to that as well. Yeah. So that would be an insane change because there's so many artifacts. Like, I can't count how many times I've lost with not Bryceria, with Sierra. Let's call her Sierra. Isaria, the bomber. I can't say how many times I've lost with her because that 20% chance I have to not land her artifact. So this one's insane. Removing 15% or 15 souls is just pretty sweet, especially when it's a non-attack skill. Gonna be great in PvP and defense and all of the places. And one thing that's ridiculous, right, is you just kind of assume cleave, right? You just assume he's going to be a cleaver, and he will be. But if you look at it, just with his debuffs, number 1, he's got the 2 dispels. He's got defense break on all of 1 ability. He buffs immunity. He's actually like an insane support unit too. If all you gear him for is like HP and speed, you know, just make him as fast as you can. Like, he's gonna do Basar's job for the most part by himself. It's just insane. Like, he's gonna do Flan's job. Like, you could literally build him with 0% crit rate and all speed and effectiveness and stuff like that, and he would still be insane, which is kind of how nuts this character is. Anyway, enough about him for now. Let's go back to this because we've got a couple more things to talk about. Another thing to talk about here, we've looked at all Rand's stuff here. The artifact, we've got this here. Ice unit, of course, Ice Thief. I forgot to mention that, but he is an Ice Thief. But we've got the drop rate up, which is tomorrow. That's amazing, and it ends on the 28th. So I know this is just me hoping too much, but I really hope we get some sort of Halloween character this year. I feel like we're not going to because Smilegate doesn't seem to do that lately. But they did mention an epic pass coming, which may have a pretty sweet skin as well. So look forward to that, of course. We then have the Mystic Summon rotation. It is A Ravi and Shadow Rose. I was kind of hoping for Bryceria or Op Sigrit. Those are 2 I really want, but at the same time, if they don't come, I don't spend my Mystics, which makes me happy. And then we've got Step on Me Kisei with, I mean, look at her. She's pretty sweet. All you have to do is hit Master. It's not as hard as you think. You can pretty much lose your way to Master eventually as long as you're not really bad, you know, like pro gamer levels of bad. Yeah, and that was it for today, except for one more thing, actually. Remember, we have the balance patch coming this week, the info on it, so I'll cover that as well. But also, they did say that we're getting a new special change early November, which is very likely Pylus, who they seem to super hint at. And it's not Phyllis. Everybody was calling her Phyllis. It's not Phyllis. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe as always, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye, everybody.